Hi guys, it's Yashi. Welcome back. Today we're gonna discuss something a little bit more provocative. You often hear me talking about finance and real estate and stuff. Today we're talking about something that is more embedded in my culture, something that I live very often here in America, something that pisses me off on a daily basis. Why do you guys consider Italians white? I mean, I understand, yes, especially me as an Italian. Like, I don't even fill in the category of how Italians mostly look like. But we hate it, we detest it, we don't like to be associated with that, especially when we are in America, because rather than focusing on colors like you tend to do in this country here, which I don't understand. I mean, I do understand all of your history, but we like to focus on nationality. We take pride in who we are from our country rather than our complexity. And Italians, most of all, because Italians, guys, people don't understand it. We're one of the most diverse populations in the world. If you want to talk about the history of us, guys, yes, we are famous for being the Roman Empire and everything, but the Roman Empire came from the Greeks. The Greeks came from Middle East, so we have Middle Eastern characteristics. We have characteristics from the Vikings. That's why I'm blonde with blue eyes. I like, from, let's say, an ethnic perspective, I'm actually one of the whitest kind of Italians you can find. But if you look at other areas of Italy, especially within my family, my grandmother, she's African. She's 100% African. She's from Sicily, which was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, by the African regions, and where the complexities are much more dark. We have the north, which was more Norman and everything. So historically speaking, we have a little bit of everything. So categorizing us with a color, which does not even represent most of us, because if you look from the Rome down, we're much darker compared to also the average American, I believe is utter bullshit and a stupid categorization of us. That's why we hate it. The second one is the culture side. Again, as I said in the introduction, guys, we hate being associated with a color. We like to be associated with our nationality. I built an entire TikTok following about this with my accent. I love being Italian. I like to throw in the face of people that I'm Italian. The whole color thing, I hate in general. See me as a person. If you really want to categorize me based on where I come from and my culture. Complexities, I don't know where this thing comes from, why you're throwing it on us, which we don't have anything to do with this. Third one, guys, is the socioeconomic factors. Like, you're treating us like most of... So you really want to talk about the whole privilege thing, guys. Italians had one of, let's say, not the worst. We can say that we didn't have the worst history, but one of the worst histories of the United States. First of all, on top of being the guys that built all of America when we came there, we were the miners. We were hated. Italians were hated so much that so many Italians of second and third generations do not speak Italian because their parents did not want people that were not Italian to associate them with Italians. Italians were notorious for crime. Italians, by the way, went through the largest lynching in history. New Orleans, 11 people. The largest lynching in history was actually Italians, which is very interesting. Like, we get treated, we get seen as this stuff. We were actually hated by a lot of Americans. If you want to talk about American history, we were some of the most hated people, and some were also the worst. I mean, also work-wise, we're literally miners. Now, when you think about mining, you think about lithium mining, you think about child labor and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it was the Italians in the past. And now, yes, it is other people right now. I understand. People will be here in the comments talking about now it's them. I understand. But history-wise, it was us. Being associated just to a color literally destroys every kind of heritage that we have as Italians, the bad history we had as Italians in America, any kind of, let's say, our cultural background, I believe it can be basically an insult. And I don't know if people will agree or disagree on this one, but this is how many of us feel. This is definitely how I feel when people address me like this. I fucking hate it. With that said, guys, we talked about history, we talked about culture. I didn't want to make a 10-minute video about this. I just wanted to make it a very quick rant. I believe that associating people based on just the way they look is utter bullshit. I believe the best compliment you can make to people by respecting them is also to associate them by their culture, by who they are, which is the real thing, not just by a color. which is a very subtle categorization, many cases with negative impacts, whichever way you look at it, while celebrating culture is something completely different, something much more harmonic, and something that many of us, especially people that come from another country to the United States, are very proud of. So probably one of the best compliments you can use in this place. Whether it is a compliment or whether even you want to criticize a culture, I believe that's the best way to address something, not by the simple way that we look. Guys, that's all for now. I hope you got value on this video. It is a very quick rant of mine, but I believe I had to address it, as also I have a big following on TikTok, and I'm very curious to see what you guys say.